Hi, my name is Stephanie Farnkoff, and I'm so happy to be making this video for Noelle's Light.
Hi, my name is Katie Mason. I'm sharing my story about my daughter Vera.
Hi, we're Tara and Pierce Reed. We're here to share our story about our son Theodore Reed, who was born on June 11th, 2024. He was diagnosed with a condition called congenital diaphragmatic hernia, which means there was a hole in his diaphragm that allowed his organs to kind of travel up into his chest. He had to be intubated, he had to receive oxygen support, and then eventually he went on ECMO life support.
The reason I'm making this video is for my son Dawson. He was born last year with a genetic disorder called MYRF, and that has a lot of different things in it, but for him specifically, he has a heart and genital defect, and he was born with a congenital diaphragmatic hernia.
During Vera's anatomy scan, 2 birth defects were identified, so my care was transferred to CHOP. Well, she was born on April 3rd of 2022, and at 5 days old, she was identified with an ultra-rare genetic disorder called Boring-Opitz syndrome. Boring-Opitz affects approximately 1 in 100 million individuals worldwide. It's a life-limiting genetic disorder due to a fluke genetic mutation at conception.
He ended up being in the NICU for 5 months, and while we were navigating all this, we had 2 older children that were at home as well, which proved to be really difficult.
Dawson came home at 9 months, and he's breathing on his own. He has CPAP machine for when he's sleeping, and he's still exclusively tube fed.
Teddy's needs are extensive. He's a really easy baby otherwise. He's great, he's always happy. But he has doctor's appointments maybe 3 times a week that I've had to take days off of work for.
He's still gonna have a long road. He's got a lot of therapies, a lot of, milestones to meet, but really the most important thing is that Dawson is by far the happiest child I have ever met.
So she was in and out of the hospital for much of her life, but we absolutely fell in love with her. This is her in the NICU.
We really took a hit during this whole thing. I couldn't work for a lot of it. We were going back and forth an hour and a half to the hospital, trying to take care of both of our babies, one in the hospital and one at home. It was a lot, and there was a lot of strain, but Noelle's Light paid for our mortgage and our utilities.
Our world was just totally flipped upside down with her birth and her diagnosis, but she was truly such a light. I like to say she spoke with her soul. She never said a word, but she spoke with her soul.
It impacted us because I had to take time off for work, and my time off was longer than expected just because his time in the NICU was longer than we thought it would be. His needs were extensive at the time. We were able to navigate all of this because we had supportive organizations like Noelle's Light.
She was doing so well, but started having seizures in March of 2024 and was pretty much constantly hospitalized. Ultimately, she passed away from respiratory failure July 23rd of 2024. This organization has been the most impactful to me in terms of dealing with my grief and making connections with other moms who have gone through child loss.
I would never be able to thank Noelle's Light enough for what they did for us. Their generosity and, their compassion and kindness, it's unparalleled.
They sent me a hope box with some really heartfelt items like a wooden sign of Vera's name and a painting of the Northern Lights and bracelets that I wear every single day.
We're really grateful for everything they've done, and they even followed up with us long term, reaching out and just checking in on us and seeing how he's doing, and that's really meant the world to us, and we're really grateful for Noelle's Light.
Through their support groups as well as on the retreat, we communicate almost every day, and it has just been a lifesaver for me as I continue to navigate my daughter's loss.
And it just goes to show you the kind of organization that they are. They don't forget their families. They take care of them. And, they really are a light in some of the darkest times. And we as a family will never be able to thank them enough. We really, truly do. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts.